Welcome to my channel. I want us to look at Lagos State ahead of the 2023 presidential election. Lagos State is a state that is important. It has a large vote estimate. In fact, the number of registered voters in Lagos is over 6 million. So whoever can be able to amass this vote is likely emerge top contender for the presidency of Nigeria. Now, Lagos State is a state that people think that the presidential candidate of APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, already has in the kitties, but it is not true. It is a state that I believe that Peter Obi can win it. Yes, it's a state that Peter Obi can win because Lagos State, there's a whole lot going on in Lagos that's going to work against the APC presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And there are many dynamics that will prove that the man don't really control Lagos in the presidential election as some people imagine. This is because when we look at the figures, it will become apparent that Lagos is up for grabs. And I can say with certainty that there is no way Peter Obi will not get up to 40% of the vote in Lagos. And that is enough for him in the process of becoming president of Nigeria. Because already Kano is going to be so divided that it will become so insignificant in this coming election. By the time Kano is shared among some top contenders, which is not what this video is all about. This video is all about how Peter Obi can win and all Lagos State. In fact, I can say it with certainty that Peter Obi can win Lagos State. And this is how he goes. Number one, I want us to look at the figures first so that people can get a full grasp of what we are about to discuss. First, before I go on further, please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, like this video, share it widely. Because when you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. Now, let us look at the numbers. In 2015 presidential election, which was between President Goodluck Jonathan and General Muhammad Buhari, let us look at the figures that Lagos produced. In that election, Buhari got 792,460 votes. President Goodluck Jonathan got 632,327 votes. In that election, 2015, Buhari won by 160,000 votes, 133. That's 160,133 votes. Buhari won with 11% of the valid vote cast. That's the difference between the figure that Buhari got and that of Jonathan. It's just 11% of the vote. That's 160,000, 133,000, 133 votes. 160,133 votes. Now, if you do the figure, you see that Buhari got 55% of the vote. Jonathan got 44% of the vote. Now, let us look at the Lagos results in 2019. In 2019 presidential election, Buhari got 580,825 votes. Atiku Abubakar got 448,015 votes. Now the difference in their vote is 132,810 votes, which represent 12% of the vote. That is what Atiku Abubakar used in losing the election to Buhari in Lagos. You can see that the margin of victory is not as wide as people think. When you talk about Tinubu being in charge of Lagos, the margin is not as wide. It's getting narrower, and it's going to peter out in this coming election. And this, I will give you a reason why. There are so many things that has happened between 2015, 2019, and ahead of 2023. One, Nigerians, including Lagosians, are fed up with APC. The kind of sufferings that Nigerians are passing through now is unprecedented in the history of this country. It's like the country is in a state of civil war in terms of suffering of Nigerians. And these Nigerians are going to speak, and they are going to speak loudly, and they are going to speak in Lagos too. Now, if you look at Tinubu does not have a good image. There are people who are blaming him for bringing in Buhari, that Buhari administration is a disaster. A lot of Nigerians and a lot of Lagosians blame it on Tinubu. But he doesn't seem to understand it. But he will understand it in this election. People are going to vote a protest vote in this election, and it's going to go against Tinubu, even in Lagos. Even in Lagos. Because the suffering in the country, including Lagos, is massive. And Tinubu is fingered among those who brought it upon this country. And Tinubu had never been on the side of the people since this administration started. He has maintained sealed lips while Nigerians are suffering, while Nigerians are being killed. He only found his voice when he decided to tell Nigeria that it is his turn to be president. And I believe that Lagosians will answer him effectively. Now, if you look at the demographics, out of the 6 million registered voters in Lagos, over 60% of these voters are young people. These are the youths of the NSAS campaign. These are the youths that were massacred at Lekki Toll Gate, in which many blamed it on Tinubu. Although he denies it, but perception is everything. And you see the way the youths are massively registering. They want to take vengeance with their vote and is going to go against Tinubu in Lagos. Because the youth, they are the largest voting bloc right now in Nigeria. And they're also the largest voting bloc in Lagos. They are going to speak with their voice. If you look at the way the youths of Nigeria are rallying around to the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, it is in response to their decision to take vengeance on those who killed their colleague during the INSAS protest. Nigerians are going to witness in 2023 the reenactment of the INSAS protest by Nigerian youth, but this time it's going to be with their votes. And Tinubu is going to be among the victims of the anger of Nigerian youths. This time, not by violence, but with their PVC. So Tinubu is going to see that Nigeria has changed. And that no matter the amount of bullion van that will be brought out in Lagos that day, the youths of Nigeria will show that they want a new direction for their country. So Tinubu is going to lose massively the votes of the youths. Now, if you look at the voting pattern in Lagos, already for somebody like Tinubu, who has Lagos literally in his pocket since 1999 to date, if you look at the election pattern, you find out that there are a lot of people who are not happy with Tinubu. You may think that the whole of Lagos love Tinubu. It is not true. If you look at the figures, if you look at the votes, you see the massive votes against Tinubu, whether in 2015 or in 2019. And it is going to get worse in 2023 when a combination of factors, one, his role in the INSAS massacre of youths, which he denied, but the youths believe that he was complicit, whatever way. He has denied it, but perception is everything. Some of his comments after the massacre did not even help matters. So they are going to hold it against him. Another factor that will go against him is the demography of Lagos is youth dominated, and those youths are not for Tinubu. Now let us look at the ethnic dimension in the voting pattern in Lagos. In terms of ethnicity, the largest voting bloc in Lagos is Yoruba. After the Yoruba bloc, you have the Igbo bloc. After the Igbo bloc, you have the South-South bloc. Now, the South-South bloc include Edo, Delta, and all other South-South ethnic groups that are in Lagos. If you combine their votes, these are the votes that Jonathan used to amass in 2011 and in 2015. This vote will not go for Tinubu. This vote will go for Peter Obi. You can take it to the bank. This vote, they are going to go to Obi. Now, there's another religious dimension too. By tinkering with the idea of Muslim tickets in 2023, even though the placeholder now is a Muslim and he may step down, already the perception is there that that is what is in the heart of Tinubu to do. He may change it later to that of to pick a Christian northerner, but it, the sign has already been there that that is what he would have preferred. It is only because of a pushback that he now reneged and now pick a northern Christian. But all things being equal, Tinubu is likely to still pick a Muslim ticket. That is going to work against him even in Lagos. Forget about some hack writers that are writing that it doesn't matter uh, whoever Tinubu choose. What Nigeria need is somebody, people who can solve Nigeria's economy, some economic problem, who can make the country right and all that. Are you telling me there are no more northern Christians that can be able to help put the country right? Only a northern Muslim can do that. That kind of argument holds no water at all. So that also is going to have impact on the voting in Lagos. Then another thing that will be of interest is that this election is not an election that there will be snatching of ballot papers, because it is going to be purely electronic voting. Before, they used to have those who snatch boxes and all that. The only thing they can do now, which I believe that the political parties should mark them effectively, is either to stop people from coming out to vote. But if people comes out to vote and the accreditation process is electronic, the voting process is electronic, there is virtue. It is very difficult for Tinubu to manipulate the election the way he used to manipulate elections in Lagos in the previous elections. It will be difficult. It will be difficult for him to do it. Of course, there are those who can say, okay, he's going to use money, because going by the recent experience of Ekiti, that people were giving money, then they vote according to what the party that gave them the money. But the presidential election of Nigeria is going to be a different ball game. It will not be like the Ekiti state election. Already the awareness and the consciousness is there. So the electronic voting is going to work against the kind of things that they used to do in Lagos by the APC and by the Tinubu political machinery. So it will be difficult for Tinubu to rig this election in Lagos the way he used to, in terms of rigging it, making sure that his governorship candidate emerges the winner and all that. Because we know that most elections in Lagos and many parts of the country, PDP and APC, they do rig the election. They do rig the election. It's a common knowledge. But in this election, based on the 2022 Electoral Act, it will be difficult for Tinubu or anybody to rig the presidential election in Lagos. That gives opportunity for Mr. Peter Obi, who is enjoying an unprecedented momentum right now, to emerge the winner in Lagos. I see Mr. Peter Obi winning Lagos State. I see him winning Lagos State, because Lagos is not in the pocket of Tinubu as people are imagining. Of course, the finances of Lagos may be in his pocket in terms of control of the finances, determining who gets what. But on the election presidential election, it's not going to be easy for him. Uh, Let me say it once again, things that is working against Tinubu and which will work in favor of Peter Obi. The youths are against Tinubu. They are blaming him for the massacre at the Lekki toll gates. Lagosians are fed up with Tinubu. He has been the man determining who gets what since 1999, and they are fed up. And if you doubt it, look at the margin of all the presidential elections between 2011 and 2019. You can see that the margin getting narrower and narrower. What it means is this: people are fed up. All this, if you look at the percentages of the winning, you know that those votes are against Tinubu. Not necessarily that those votes are for those candidates they voted for. It's a protest vote. Those are protest votes against Tinubu. Of course, I know that the 2019 election, a lot of people from Southeast and South voted massively for Atiku Abubakar because of Peter Obi in the ticket. Right now, Peter Obi is not in the ticket of Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar is on his own. Atiku Abubakar, you will see in this presidential election 2023 in Lagos, Atiku Abubakar will come a distance third position. A distance third position is what PDP and Atiku Abubakar are going to get. Write it down somewhere that I say so. So Peter Obi is going to win Lagos, and it's going to be a major upset that will shake the country and even shake Lagosians. Of course, they are getting the signal that something like that is about to happen, and I'm sure they are working on it to see how they can stop him. Already, if you look at the columnist of the Nation newspaper, they are always attacking Peter Obi. It's like they have dedicated their newspaper and their columnists to be writing negative stuffs about Peter Obi. Then after those negative stuffs, they will still say Peter Obi will not win, that there's no way he can win, that his supporters are only on social media. But every day they keep on churning out materials on Peter Obi saying he will not win. They are getting feelers of what will face them in Lagos. So the Peter Obi strategists also have to be alert so that they could be able to counter them. Because right now, they have the media in their pockets. They have TVC, they have several FM radio stations in Lagos there. They have the Nation newspaper. And they think they have everything. Of course, they have those on social media. But they are still scared, despite all this army of media people that they have supporting them. Because unless you are perceptive, you may not be able to see what is about to come, what's about to hit Lagos. Peter Obi is going to win Lagos State, and it will shock Nigerians. Because a lot of people are waiting to send their message to Bola, Ahmed, Tinubu, and the APC. Lagos will be one of the pathways to the presidency by Mr. Peter Obi. It's going to happen. Just take note of it. Even the strategists, political strategists, electoral strategists of Tinubu, they're already tinkering with their own strategy to be able to counter Peter Obi, because Peter Obi is the main threat in Lagos and not Atiku Abubakar. And I see Peter Obi triumphing, because when you look at the dynamics that will determine the election, they are in favor of Peter Obi. The worsening situation of the economy, the Lekki massacre, the anger of the youth of Lagos, the 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 the, the ethnic demography, the religious demography, they are all in favor of Peter Obi, and there is a lot of anger in Lagos, just as in many parts of Nigeria, to revolt against the system. So victory is certain for Mr. Peter Obi, all things being equal. That Lagos can be easily won by Tinubu is not true, not in this particular election. Thank you for watching this video. Please, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to this channel, hit the subscription uh, button, hit the notification bell. When you hit the subscription button, it means that anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Next time, we are going to look at this Lagos again, because there are new dynamics that may emerge. But the truth is that Tinubu does not have Lagos in his pocket in terms of winning 2023 presidential election in Lagos State. Thank you and God bless you.